Alright, welcome to another Robot Adventures update. Children, dumbasses, shit for brains. Don't watch. Go away. This video is only for people who like my videos and who are interested in what's going to go on with this channel. Let's see, it's May 6th, about 2:30 p.m. here in Tokyo. So I think, I mentioned a bit in my Devastator video. I want to get back to having adventures with the robots, not just reviewing the figures. Yeah. So I want to go back to maybe telling jokes and having, doing stuff like that, not just reviews. I think from what I've seen over the last few years, a lot of people in the community have kind of realized that the products that are being offered by Transformers are kind of shitty in terms of quality, in terms of pricing, yeah, I think this Energon line was maybe the last good piece of, chunky plastic that felt durable and just lasted a while. Since then, we've gotten kind of so-so figures. Yeah, so I really don't have any anything that I want to buy coming out from Takara Tomy or Hasbro. I do have an interest in that third-party Planet X Omega Supreme Fall of Cybertron figure, which looks pretty cool. If they introduced a better line, maybe, I might look into that. But what's out there right now just doesn't seem to be that interesting. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'd like to make videos to keep myself entertained and to entertain those who like the videos, and also people who like social media stuff. I don't Facebook, but I do a little bit of Twittering. And of course, I'm always online playing games, so we can always play that way. Yeah. If I'm not gonna make reviews about toys and stuff like that, then usually I think what you guys, some of you guys have told me is that my reviews are something about a Transformer, and then a whole bunch of me talking about something that's not even related, which is kind of what I do now. It's like, okay, I think you guys know what a Transformer is. Let me talk to you about something. And usually it's about how fucked up shit is. And I try to look out for you guys. I try to tell you, don't buy this. This isn't good. You're being taken advantage of. And I try to do that also with let you know what's going on, give you a heads up on how the government is fucking you over. Because in a way, I like to help people, right? So I like to tell you, you know, the good points and the bad points about these figures. Also, I like to tell you the good points and bad points about what the fuck's going on that maybe you're not aware of, or maybe it's kind of hard to find. Like I said in my Devastator video about a year ago, I was talking about Obama's drone program and how he was killing American citizens without judicial oversight, without warrants. He was just, you know, saying, okay, let's kill this guy, and then he would just go kill him, which is completely wrong. And Eric Holder, the weak-ass do-nothing Attorney General, was like, due process does not equal judicial process. So due process now, changing the words, just means whoever the fuck we want to kill, we'll just go kill him. We don't have to have a judge. And it's like, what the fuck is that? And there's a lot of places to get information, and I know it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to gather the information from so many different sources, and then try to sift through it all to find the key points and what they are actually saying and what they're not saying, and what the mass media usually doesn't cover, but is out there. It takes a lot of effort to do a lot of that stuff. And I know a lot of you guys don't have time to do that. And, yeah. I watch a lot of... I don't know if you can still see the subscriptions that I have. There used to be a time on YouTube where you can see which people I'm subscribed to, but I don't know if you can still do that. I don't even know how to use the fucking YouTube. So... What? You click a button and you make a banner? What's that mean? Well, you just click the thing. Anyway, some of the YouTube channels that I like to watch for information on how the government is fucking you over, or you're getting fucked over, or just some stupid shit. Probably the number one, I think the number one news, online news show, given over 1 billion hits on YouTube alone, I think, is The Young Turks. And this is a progressive show. It's not a mainstream show where the people who control ABC, NBC, they're not dependent so much on sponsors. What goes on usually is the government, the White House, will give access to the president, to the politicians, to the press, right? They have to give, the press, but they can determine which members of the press get access. You can't give access to everyone, right? So the major corporations, news corporations, throw up softballs, don't question too much, make it easy for the politicians to get their speaking points out there. And that way, they stay in favor with the White House. They don't get blocked. They don't get kicked off of the press corps. So a lot of the mainstream news reporting is kind of weak, and you don't want to piss off your sponsors, so you don't want to do hard-hitting journalism to piss off, the tobacco company or the drug companies, or you don't want to piss off anyone who's going to give you money to run your programs. The Young Turks are online, and yeah, they call out Obama's bullshit all the time. It's very easy to make fun of Republicans. But yeah, it's a good show to watch. I highly recommend that. Check out the description down below this video. Another show another channel is rightwingwatch.org. It has a lot of videos on the stupid and hypocritical shit that the right wing says. Fucked up, mental, hateful stuff that the right wing says. That's where I got that clip from Rick Santorum saying at a speech at a university saying, we're never going to get the smart, educated people on our side. We're never going to get the elite, professors on our side. Because apparently smart people don't want to be Republicans. It's like, well, they have their agenda. And this was also proven in the state of Texas, where the Republican platform was changed and then changed again after they were caught. The Republican platform was, we don't want to teach critical thinking in schools because, we don't want the children to question what they're told, because that breeds a culture of free thought. That we just want to keep the children regurgitating whatever the fuck we told them was true. There's a bunch of stuff out there. Yeah, and not to say that libertarians are, if you're a liberal, you're a libertarian. These terms are not, maybe they're a little bit confusing because they're very similar, but libertarians are close kind of towards communism and socialism. Some of these terms tend to bleed in and overlap a little bit, but yeah, it's maybe good to figure out what these terms mean. A big problem with libertarians are they don't want, they want to be free. It's like, oh, free, everything's free. We don't need government regulations. We don't need the government, in our lives and stuff like that. Which is like, oh, okay, that's free. But when you do that, you realize that cops and firefighters and school teachers and the roads, the bridges, a lot of this stuff is paid for by the government, and it's oversight. Its regulation is important to make sure people just don't fuck up and, you got this big explosion in Texas because the company said, no, we're cool. There's nothing that can go wrong, and we're cool. And there wasn't enough funding, there wasn't enough inspectors to go out and check, what's going on, and these government agencies are being defunded. And look, that didn't work, and that didn't work. Oh yeah, because there are no police to check if people are fucking up. And when they fuck up, and something goes wrong, You say, oh, look, they didn't do their job. Yeah, they didn't do their job because there weren't enough police. You know, it's like, oh, look, crime happened. Oh, the police don't work. They didn't do their job and crime happened. Yeah, because there weren't enough police. And it's a balancing act. You can't have, 100% police, and you can't have zero police. But there is some point of having a police. And if you think of the libertarian way, it's like, well, no, police all leave. And there's no government funding and stuff like that. That's not going to work. And then you go the other way, which is like, oh, and the government controls everything. No. We need a balance. And that's where that balance lies. That's where the discussion needs to happen. But sometimes it's like, no, we can't even discuss gun control. No. There's no discussion of this. Those people, those are on the fringes. Those are the fanatics. It's like, okay. The Republicans shutting down any kind of critical thinking. So, there's needs to be some kind of, and not all Republicans, of course. The Republican Party is it's an umbrella that encompasses a lot of different, subgroups in the Republicans, but So, yeah, please educate yourself. Another place, of course, I love watching comedy and stuff like that. You can go to Comedy Central online and watch the Jon Stewart show, the Stephen Colbert show for free if you're overseas. I don't know how it works in the States, but those shows are really funny. Sometimes you wish they'd go a little bit farther, but so another big thing that's been going on recently, I think, so I got about 10 minutes to talk about it. The whole issue of gay rights. I know I talk shit about sucking the sweet semen out of Jesus's testicles, and because if there were any being's nut that you'd want to suck, it'd be Jesus. But I think it boils down to the argument against allowing gay people the same rights as straight people is flawed almost every way you can argue it. I don't know. The only argument for not allowing gay people the same rights is, I don't like it, so they don't have the same rights. That argument is weak as shit. And you can argue it, well, God says this. And the problem with that is that I think a lot of people are trying to be too PC, too kind, or too respectful of people who have no respect for other people. So why is it okay for some religious person to say, oh, these people who are gay, they're gonna die in shit and they're terrible, evil people and they're nothing. And then you have to turn around and say, oh, well, that was his religion, so I have to respect that. No, that guy's a fucking asshole. And you also have to be able to say, you know what? Your whole basis for your argument using religion is bullshit. Your religion is bullshit. You're just making it up. And I think that gets to the point where it's like, well, we can't we can't go against a person's religion. Why not? It's all bullshit. Atheists, agnostics will just go, whatever, dude, that you're a fucking idiot. But if you're brought up in the culture, oh, you got to respect their religion. Yeah, but their religion doesn't have to respect you. That's bullshit. That's hypocritical. And I just thought it'd be funny just to look at their passages. So, what's that? Is that the Holy Bible, Reuben? Why do you have the Holy Bible? Oh shit. Because I was brought up Roman Catholic, and I long since gave that away. There's a passage here, Leviticus. They love that Leviticus. There's the one about don't touch the carcass of a pig. There's a Leviticus. If you touch the pig flesh, you are unclean. So American football is just wrong. You are dirty. That doesn't say that in the Bible. Go fucking get the Bible. It says it right there. Here's the part where they love to quote. 18:20 here. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. It's like, alright. You can't fuck a man the way you fuck a woman. Okay. Unless that man has a vagina, then I don't think you're going to be fucking a man the way you fuck a woman. And if you're just ass fucking the woman, and you're just going to ass fuck a man, I would say just reach down and just play with the man's balls a little bit, and then you're free and clear. Because a woman doesn't have balls unless she's a tranny, and then a tranny isn't even like a woman, because it's kind of like some mixed thing. And so I think even with the Bible, if you believe that hocus pocus leprechaun bullshit, unicorns and flying monkeys, then you're free and clear. So it's just silly. Any arguments against equal rights for people who like doing stuff that you don't like doing, just because you find it icky, is weak. I'm not going to be going around and joining some bukkake party and getting loads of nut, blown in my face. I don't know why you would even want to fucking, it's like, oh, here in Japan you got the bukkake. Yeah. Why do you want to do that? I don't know. It's like, here, let me blow my nose in a cup and you fucking slurp that shit down. Everybody blow their nose in a cup. Yummy, nice. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit that people do, weather fucking, and I guess it's okay as long as you don't get injured from it, but yeah, it's like, it has no interest for me, but I don't know. Same as a gay person, a gay man going, why the fuck would you fuck a woman? That's nasty. Yeah, well, it's, it's to each their own, I think bisexual people are probably the most open-minded. Maybe trannies, I don't understand them. I don't know if they want a gay guy that looks like a man or a woman that's really macho, or they want to trick a man into thinking that they're a woman, and then when it's time to get their shit played with, it's like, oh yeah, I'm really a man, and then the guy's like, okay, I'm really gay or bi. I guess that's how, I don't know, maybe that's how that works. But I'm not going to deny them the right to get married and pass along property and stuff like that, because they do some weird shit that I don't understand. So gay bashing is the same as I guess racial stereotyping or something like that. It's like, well, he's black, so he probably can jump really well. Well, you know, he's black, so he's probably a good swimmer. You know, that guy's Mexican. He's probably a good cook. It's like, what the fuck? Now, she's a woman. She probably likes to suck a dick. Yeah, I've met a lot of women who don't really want to suck a dick. And it's like, well, you know, I really can't blame you. You gotta stick a dick in your mouth and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? But, you can't discriminate against that. I mean, there are a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit that I don't like that the Republicans do. They are against the working class. They're for tax cuts for the rich. But I'm not gonna like, well, no, you can't get married. I don't like what you do. You can't get married. Yeah, but I do. Yeah. No. We can't do that. So I'm really hoping the Supreme Court, like so many other European countries, are like, oh yeah, you know what? All that shit all the reasons why we discriminate is kind of stupid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Whatever. I still think it's kind of funny, you know. But yeah, you can't discriminate against it. Like, let's get a bunch of like midgets, little people. Can't call them midgets. I don't know if you can. You know, there was a trend a couple years ago, to change it from African Americans to blacks. And then I was like, I don't know if that's what it is. And, you know, Hispanics or Latinos or... then I'm thinking, you know, what are Brazilians? Are they black? Are they Latinos? Are they... So all these words that people use to define these groups of people, it's kind of tricky. And I don't think people want to be defined as like, oh, you're this. And labeled like that. But... yeah, growing up, in Spanish, negro. Everybody's a negro. Oh, he's a black guy. Negro. But very similar to nigger, and people were like, oh, you can't say that. And, yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't really know what the difference was, so. There were a lot of things I didn't know. And things change, and... so you can't say honky. And you can't say this, and cunt and twat, and I think snot is pretty nasty. I don't like snot, but people put these limits and barriers and stuff like that, and it's like, well, you can't say cunt. I don't know why, but you know, some cultures you can't say that, and some you can, and some. Anyway, it's been about 30 minutes, and I guess leave me your comments. What do you think? What you want me to do with this channel, and I'll take them under consideration. I want to do some green screen stuff. I have some ideas in mind, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. See you all on online on the game forums and in the game. Take care. Bye-bye. Come by. I like red wine. Merlot. It's nice. So... it just got me thinking some more. It's like, you know, so many of the terms that we use now, where they came from and their origins... oh my god. Oh my god. I find that amusing. You know, I say oh my god all the time. And then I laugh at myself. It's something that, you know, you grow up with this stuff, and it's like, oh, that's the right response to say when something happens, you know, and recently I've changed it to oh sweet Jesus semen or something like that, or oh ass crack of heaven, just anything. It's just like, yeah, okay. It's pretty windy outside. You know when people sneeze and they say, "Oh, bless you, bless you." You know, I don't know if you know, but we got that expression because long time ago, when they didn't know about germs or anything, they thought, oh, well, you know, if you sneeze, that's like a demon trying to push out your soul and trying to take over your body. So what you got to do is you got to bless them so that the demon can't take over the person. Say, oh, okay, so God bless you. And then the demon would be like, holy shit, I just got blessed, so I got to get out of here. And now we think about it, oh, that's just silly. And I don't prove that. No, there's no demon going into the people. And yeah, that's just silliness. And it's like, sweet Pharaoh. Oh, bless me, Odin. Ah, that's funny, Odin. Because, you know, a long time ago, people thought, you know, the Pharaoh was God, and he had magic powers, but now we know that was just silliness, because the Pharaoh didn't really have magic powers. That was just silliness. And then, you know, people thought, you know, Odin and Zeus. Ha ha ha. That's silly goofiness. You know, those guys didn't really have magic powers. They weren't God. People recently thought the Emperor of Japan was a god. That's not true. That's just silliness. Like, but Jesus, now that guy, you know, that guy really did have magic powers. And he had the magic. He zapped up some people. And that's not silly. That's okay. Okay, whatever. And there's a funny, really nice videos on YouTube. The non-stamp collector. There's so much stuff on I guess logic and, you know, getting away from, you know, hocus pocus on YouTube, and I'll try to put all those links down in the bottom there. You could just spend hours and just your brain was like, oh yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. So many other expressions that we say. And when I was a kid, maybe I've mentioned this before, in Texas, I first heard the term, you should nigger rig this. And that was a term I heard to fix something in a non-standardized way. I'll just nigger rig it. And I was like, oh, that's the name of the term. That's what it's called. And I didn't really know where it came from. That's just how I heard it. And so for a long time I didn't know what that term meant. And then I was like, what? Did you mean nigger and rig, like, together? Is that what I'm saying? Is that what the term meant? And it's like, oh, then I heard, not maybe then, but maybe at the same time, I also heard the term jerry rig it. And jerry rig would be like, of course, the way the Jerrys did in the World War. The Germans, I think, So it was a somewhat of a derogatory term for them. But a lot of people still say jerry rig, right? And another term that we say often, oh, I was gypped. Oh man, they gypped me. Which was also like, they gypsied me. So, you know, those gypsies, you know, they'll screw you over, so. Some of this stuff we just keep, and it's like, oh. I don't know why people change some of these expressions. It's kind of weird. People change Jesus to geez and heck and darn and gosh and golly and and this kind of goes full circle back to Ned Flanders. It's like, why don't you just say fuck instead of frick? You know, and just all this, you know. But I can't say that because it's culturally something. You know, the culture is dumb as fuck. You know, the people who are saying frick and gosh golly and gosh golly are really, really wanting to say fucking cum sucking dickhead, but they just say freaking cod swallow and something and a birdie or something. It just puts a smile on your face when you watch some of the ways people really try to distort what they really want to do, but because of, you know, some crazy superstitious constraints that they can't. So well, I'd like to, but I can't. Kind of goes on to the to the homophobic anti-gay people who are really gay, that are like, you know, you can't have gay men marrying other men, because if you allow that, everyone's gonna want to marry a man. And I'm like, what? I don't want to marry a man. Maybe you're speaking for yourself, or, you know, there are a lot of things that are allowed now that people don't do because they don't really want to. If you allow gay marriage, everyone's going to become gay and marry a man or a woman? I don't know. It's kind of silly. I smile. Behind the camera, I'm going, man, these guys are idiots. Alright, guys. This has been an extra long update of what's going on recently, 2003 in May, and some of my ideas. Remember, if you fuck a man, reach down, grab his balls. If you play American football, touch pigskin, you're going to hell. If you wear clothing of 2 different types of fiber, you're also going to hell. And if you eat any kind of shellfish without fins or gills or something like that, then I think, like lobster or anything like that, you're going to hell. If you don't believe that, then you're probably going to go to hell. And then you shouldn't believe any of the other shit that the Bible talks about. So then you're probably going to hell. So any way you slice it, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Just live with it and enjoy your life. Don't listen to the fucking dumbasses. Come back. That was super long. Bye bye.